Okay, hi, good evening, everyone. I hope my voice is audible and you're able to see the screen. Yes, okay. So far we are now in day 3, right? So far what we have seen something about an introduction to what data science is. Yes, what is the flow of data science, and then we learned about using Python and R. Yes, so in Python we learned about Python, we learned about this pandas library where we were discussing about retrieving the data and then about cleaning the data. Yesterday we saw about cleaning the data, right? And in R, we saw the basics of R and we discussed about data visualization. Data visualization where we saw all this scatter plot, pie chart, histogram, and all that. So I gave you an assignment yesterday, right, to display scatter plot, bar, and what is one more? Line plot. So is the assignment done? Yes, you got the output. And have you all submitted it in the assignment form? Yes, good. All right. So today, and we started with SQL, right? So yesterday we started with SQL and we just saw a few basic queries of how to create table, insert values, update, delete, and drop, right? So we'll see few more of SQL because in SQL today we'll see about retrieving data, that is manipulating data. So retrieving and manipulating that data. And for that in SQL, you have this command called select, right? So select comes under data manipulation language, DML. No, not data manipulation language, data query language. Data query language. Okay. So select is a command, and what will select do? Select will only display. It is not going to edit or modify or do anything with the tables or the values. It will only display. It is just for viewing output. That's it, right? So for select, what we'll do is we'll go to an online editor, SQL. I'll go with incognito window, SQL online editor. And here we have this W3 schools. We'll open this. So in this, I'll just click on run so that it'll open the editor part. Right? So now here in this editor, if you see, we have a default database and there are tables already present, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tables. When I click on customers, see we have data inside customer table. When I click on categories, we have data. Employees, we have data. Orders, we have data. So we have data for all these tables. So what we'll do is we'll use these tables and we'll try to fetch output. Okay. Now, if you wanted to display any table's content, any table's data, again, you'll go with the select command, but with along with select, what you will type is select asterisk from and the table name. So here this asterisk symbol means everything. Everything in the sense each and every column, each and every data in the table. No matter even if you have 10,000 records, it is still going to display all the 10,000 records. So select asterisk from the table name. Right now, if I wanted to display customers table, I'll type select star from customers, run SQL, and it is going to display the customer table details. So in customer, we have 91 records. So all the 91 records will get displayed. Okay. Now, let's say in customer, you have all these fields, right? Customer ID, name, contact name. Say you don't want all the fields. You just wanted to know the customer name and to which country that particular customer belongs to. So you just want only these two fields, customer name and country. So in that case, what you can do, instead of asterisk, you can type the column name. So I need customer name and country. So I'll type select customer name and country from customers. Now when I run SQL, see, it is showing me only the customer name and country column details. Okay. This is with selecting specific columns. Now let's say you wanted to select specific customers detail. Now in this customer, See, it is displaying all the 91 records. Okay. But let's say you have this customer, we'll take any customer, we'll take government. Okay, we'll take Great Lakes Food Market. Okay. So Great Lakes Food Market is the customer name. Now you wanted to display only this row, not all other row. Okay. So the detail what you have is the customer name. You have the customer name and you wanted to view only the this particular customer's name. So how will you write your query? You will write it as select staff from customers. And since this is a condition, right? We'll use this clause called where. Where is a clause? Okay, it is called CLAUSE, clause, where clause. Anything followed by where will be a condition. So here we have the customer name, right? So customer name equal to and the customer's name. Now when I run SQL, see, only that particular customer's detail will get displayed. Now, I don't want all the details of Great Lakes Food Market. I just wanted to know his address alone. I just want in the output the address of Great Lakes Food Market alone. So what should I modify in this query? If I need only the address, instead of asterisk, I can just type address. So select address from customer. So this is his address. Now to verify whether if this is the same person, you can also try printing the customer name here. So that you will know, okay, this particular address belongs to this particular customer. Okay. So this is with viewing data based on condition. Now, based on these conditions, you have multiple operators which you can use along with. Now, the first one, what we'll see is, okay. Now, here in this table, I wanted to display the details of customer ID. We have 91, right? So let's say I need the customer ID details of 5, 10, and 12. I want these three people's detail to be displayed. Okay. So how will I write my query? I'll write select star from customers where customer ID and how should we write it? For 5, 10, 12. Participants mute all is not done. Select star from customers where customer ID and listen carefully. If I give customer ID equal to 5, if I give, I will give 5, 10 and 12, right? If I give customer ID equal to 5, it is going to display 5. Okay. If I give 5, 10, 5, 10, when I run SQL, it is showing error. Okay. Why it is showing error? Because always after equal to, you can give only one value. So equal to will accept only one single value. Now, if you want to give multiple values, instead of equal to, you're going to use this operator called in. So in is used to accept multiple values and you just have to put these values inside parentheses. So select star from customers where customer ID in 5 and 10. When I run this SQL, it is displaying 5 and 10 here. Yes, if I want 12 also, I'll just go give comma 12 and I'll run SQL. It will give me the data of 12 as well. And instead of numbers, I can also give names. Now, let's say what countries do we have here? We have Germany, Mexico, and Sweden. Now, let's say I want only these countries. So, if I want to display the details of Germany and what else was there? Sweden and Mexico, comma, Mexico. Yes, so if it is string values, you have to put it inside quotes. All right. Now, when I run SQL, it is going to display all the details of people who belong to Germany, Mexico, and Sweden. All right. This is with in. Now, if I want to display the customer range between maybe from 3 to 12, from 3 to 12, I wanted to display all the details. So for that, you have this operator called between and operator. Okay. So select star from customers where customer ID between 3 and 10. So customer ID between 3 and 10, it is going to display from 3 and 10. But between and AND will work only for sequence, continuous series. Okay, not like you want 3 and you don't want 5. You want 6 and you don't want 9. In that case, it will not work. What happened to my mouse? Okay. So this is between and AND. And what else did I miss? Country between, country in, customer ID, employee name, and all that. Okay. Then we have something called aggregate functions in SQL. Okay. What are aggregate functions? In case if you wanted to calculate the sum of all the products, sum of all the costs and all that, you have this aggregate function. You have minimum function, maximum function, count function, average function. Again, you have sum function and one more count. So let's do this minimum function. Now here in products table, you have product ID, product name, supplier ID and all that. So here in product, if you wanted to know which product has the minimum price, yes, so for that, how you can write the query? You can type select minimum of which column you are looking for. Okay, so it is going to be the price column. So it is going to fetch the minimum value in the price column. So minimum value in the price column is 2.5. Now, if I give maximum value, the maximum price amount is 263. If I want to know the sum of all the prices, I'll type sum. So all the price sum is this. And if I want to know the average of all the price, then it is going to display the average one. This is aggregate function. All right. And for count, you wanted to know how many products are there. You can just type select count of asterisk from products. It will show you how many products you have. So we have 77 products in our table. All right. And if you want to know the amount of products that for which the price range is about 20. So you want to know how many products are there whose price is more than 20, greater than 20. For that, you can write something like this: count of product ID from products where price has to be greater than 20. So when I run SQL, we have 37 products for which the price is greater than 20. All right. This is aggregate functions. All right. Now, with what we've seen till now, I have 3 questions here. Okay. You are going to tell me the query for these 3 questions. All right. So people online can type your answers in the chat box. The first question is, to which city does customer White Clover Markets belong? This is my question. So here I have mentioned customer. All right. Which means the data is going to be inside the customer table. Now tell me what will be the query for this particular question. To which city does customer White Clover Market belong? So what will you write as the query here? I'll select customers table first so that you can see the column names. Paste the question here. Now tell me the query. Select city from customers. Okay. Where customer name equal to White Clover Markets, the customer name. So we'll type the customer name, semicolon. I'll remove this question and let me run. So yes, so he belongs to Seattle. Seattle, right? And the next question. What is the price of the product tofu? Now the question is from products table. So what is the price of the product tofu? How will you write the query for this? Select price from products where product name equal to tofu. Now, okay, let me run it first. Now it is showing me the price. If I want to know whether this is the price for tofu, I just want to confirm whether it is the price of tofu. So what should I add here? Price comma product name. So now you know the product tofu price is 23.25. Next question. Find the contact number of the supplier exotic liquid. So we have something called suppliers here. And I wanted you to find the contact number of this particular supplier exotic liquid. So you can look at the column names here and give me the query. Select contact. I've asked for contact number. Select phone. Okay. From suppliers. Then where supplier name equal to exotic liquid. Run SQL. So this is his contact number. Okay. So this is how you retrieve values using SQL. Select. Now apart from this, let's go a little more deeper. Now there is this clause called order by. Okay. Now why do you use this order by? You use order by if you want to display the records either in ascending order or descending order. So basically for sorting. For sorting from A to B, A to Z or Z to A. So then you have by default, when you use order by, look at this query, select star from products, order by price, right? By default, it is going to order in ascending order. By default, it is ascending order. So when I run SQL, see, it starts from the lowest number. So we have given order by price. So it is just sorting only the price column. So price, it is going to sort from ascending to descending, right? If you want to do descending order, you have to give this keyword extra. You have to type DESC extra. Select star from products, order by price, but I want it in descending order. If you don't give descending order, by default, it is going to work with ascending order. You can also give ASC. If you don't give ASC also, it is still going to show you in ascending order only, right? So DESC, let's run and see if it is showing in descending order. Yes. See, it's coming from the bigger numbers, starting with the bigger numbers. All right. Then there is this query where you can use both ascending and descending. Now see here, I have this query, select star from customers, order by. Then I have one column to be sorted in ascending order and you have another column to be sorted in descending order. Okay, you can give both. It is still going to give you the output. But how it is going to give you the output? First, it will, sort all the country into ascending order. And then inside that country, the customers who belong to that country will be sorted into descending order. See, when I run this output, when I run this query, all the country here, all the country gets sorted in ascending order. See, A, B, and then you have C, D, F and all that. Countries are in ascending order. Inside these countries, if you see the customer names, we have given customer name, right? We have given customer name. So here, all these customer names, those customer names are in descending order. R, O, and C. And then next you see all these B countries. So B countries will have customer names in descending order. Okay. So country in ascending and customer name in descending. Now, answer me this for this question. You have to sort the employee details in ascending order. Okay. Now, where is this employee detail? It is in employee table. So my question is sort the employee details in ascending order. You have the columns here. So what query will you write? Select star from employees. Okay. Order by employee ID. I want the employee details in the sense I want the names in ascending order. So what will you use? First name, okay, we'll use first name then. First name, and what? You can either give ascending, but if you don't give ascending also, it is still going to sort, right? So select star from employees, order by first name, ascending. Now first see the first name, it's starting with Nancy, Andrew and all that, right? When I run SQL, see the first name gets sorted into ascending order. What if I want it in descending order? I can add DESC, descending order. So all the first name will get sorted in descending order, right? So this is with order by. Then you have something called group by. Okay, group by is used when you wanted to find out the amount of people in certain category. Now let's say in customer table we have many countries, right? We have Germany, we have Mexico, we have Sweden, we have France, and all this. Now if you wanted to know in each country how many people are there, how many customers are there, so in that case you have to use group by. So group by is used to find out the count of how many people are there in each particular category, right? Now see here, we have used the aggregate function called count, which we saw. So we are counting the customer ID. You can count anything you want. Based on the country, you can count their customer name or contact name or customer ID. You can count anything, but you have to count something. And then you have to, we are trying to display the country as well from customers, group by country. Now, when I run this SQL, it is displaying the amount, the count of people along with the country name. So in Argentina, we have 3. In Austria, we have 2. In Belgium, we have 2. In Brazil, we have 9. So based on each country, group by will count the number of customers. So for counting, you have to use the aggregate function called count. Got it? Yes. And then you have something called having clause, right? Now, when do you go for having clause? Now, we learnt about where. I said where is a clause. So, just like where, we have something called having. Now, after where, I told you can write conditions. After where, I told you can write conditions. Then, we learnt about these aggregate functions. What are aggregate functions? Sum function, min function, max function, count function, and all that. You can't use these aggregate functions after where. Where will not allow you to use aggregate functions. Okay, so if you want to use aggregate functions after, after you type the query, you can't use where. So instead of where, you're going to use having. So you're just going to replace where with having only when you want to use this aggregate function. Apart from this, you're giving general conditions, that is fine. So here, what are we doing? We are trying to find the number of customers from each country, but we wanted to know only the country details which has more than 5 customers. Okay, so we are trying to find out the number of customers in each country, but the output which I want only the countries which have more than 5 customers. So what we have done is we've counted first and we are displaying the country out here. So group by, we are grouping by country, but then we have a condition. What condition do we have? The count of customer ID should be greater than 5. So I want all the country details who have more than 5 customers. So in this case, when you wanted to search for a condition something like this using aggregate function, you have to use the having clause. You can't use it after the where clause. So group by country, and it has to have this particular condition as well. So when I run this, see, it is going to show all the country details, but it is showing all the customers greater than 5. Right? So we have only 5: Brazil, France, Germany, UK, and USA. This is having clause. Okay. So this is with group by and having. All right. And then after this, you have something called like operator. In SQL, you have something called like operator. Now, what is like operator? Like operator comes under wildcards. Wildcards is the concept name. Okay. If you wanted to do pattern based searching, then you can go with like operators. This will help you with data collection process. So if you are looking for specific details from the table, if there is a table which has 10,000 records, you don't want all the 10,000 records. You have a pattern in your mind and you want data only data that belongs to that particular pattern. So in that case, you can search data using patterns. So to search data using patterns, you have this concept called wildcards. Wildcards. And in wildcards, you use this operator called like operator. Okay. There is this concept called wildcards where you use like operator, and you have few symbols which you can use here. The first symbol is parenthesis. It's what is this? Percentage. percentage symbol. Okay. Now this percentage symbol denotes one or more characters. This, when you place a percentage symbol, it denotes it can have one alphabet or it can have more than one alphabet. That is the meaning. Then you have another symbol called underscore. Underscore denotes only one character. So when you use underscore, in that place you can place only one single alphabet, not more than one alphabet. But with percentage, you can have more than one alphabet, right? Okay. Now, how do we use this? Now, let's say, for example, in customer table, we have 91 records, right? I wanted to view or display the details of the customers whose name starts with S. Whosever names start with S, I want to display only their detail. Okay. So in that case, how do I write my query? We'll write select start from customers, where customer name, then you will give this operator called like, and then you have to give the pattern. So which alphabet did I say? S, right? So I'll type S and then I'll give percentage and then I'll close this and then I'll give a semicolon. Now what does this query denote? The name has to start with S, and after S, it can have one character or more than one character also. So that name can be of any length, but the name should start with S. Now let's see if we have names starting with S. Yes, see, all the names that are starting with S get printed. Okay. Now, if I wanted to view all the customer details whose name ends with A, then vice versa, I just have to give the percentage in the front and then I have to give A. So now it is going to display all the customer details, name which ends with A. A, and A. Okay. Now, let's say you're trying to find out certain a person's name. Okay, from this table. You know the person name is John. All right. But you don't know his full name. You're not sure of this full name. But here, if you want to find out the John detail, you have to give the full name to this query, right? Now, since you don't know the full name, you know somehow his name has this character John for sure. So what you can do is here, you can type percentage and you can type JOHN and percentage. So here what you're saying that it can be any name, but that name should have this pattern called John. Now we'll find out if we have any John here. We don't have John. So I'll just type some other name, OR. I'll give this pattern, OR. Any customer name who has this pattern, OR. I want all the details. So it will display, see, all the details of customer name who has OR pattern. This name has OR, this name has OR, and this has OR. So all the names will have this OR pattern. So when you don't know how the data is stored, but you just know somehow these alphabets will be there in that particular data, you can search like this. Okay. Then, if you wanted to find out the names starting with A and ending with E, okay, first letter of the name should be A and the last letter should be E. Then what you can do, you can give A percentage E. When you give A percentage E, all the names starting with A and ending with E will get this. This is percentage, okay. Now I told you there is another one called underscore, right? Now what I'll do is, I'll just, okay, we'll go with customer name itself, but I just wanted to see the customer names in the table. We have, okay, we'll go with AR. So now my query is select star from customers where customer name like in my pattern. What I'm going to do is this particular name should have first letter as A. First letter should be A. Then I'm giving an underscore and then I'm giving another letter O. Oh, yes. And then I'll give percentage and then I'll close it. Now, what does this mean? The customer name, in customer name, the first letter has to be A. And for sure, it has to have a second letter that can be anything. Second letter can be anything. And third letter has to be O. Third letter has to be O. After third letter, it can have one or more characters. That is the meaning. So by default, the first letter has to be A and the third letter has to be O. Now we'll see which names have that. Only one name, that is around the horn. So first letter is A, second letter is any alphabet, and then third letter is O, and then after math, it has all the characters, more than one character. So underscore will denote only one single character. Okay, this is with like operator. All right, now based on what I told you, give me answers for this. First, find out the city names starting with the letter L. So how will you write query for this? City name starting with L. Where city? Like L percentage. So city like L percentage, it is going to give all the city that is starting with L and their customer details. Okay. Which contact names has the pattern HA? We have contact name in customer table. Okay. So which contact names has the pattern HA? How will you write? Percentage? HA percentage. Okay. But instead of city, you have to type contact name. Where contact name. So see here, all contact name that has HA pattern will get displayed. Next, which names has the second letter as R? Whichever name has second letter R. For sure, it should have a second letter R. So how will you find query for this? Huh? First, I'll type customer name. Okay. Now you tell me for like. Underscore R percentage. Okay. So the second letter will be R in all the names. Okay. And then how many customers are from Germany? This is with having and group by for that, not with like operator. So how many customers are from Germany? How will you write query for this? I am asking how many customers. So in that case, you can't give. Okay, I'll write select count of. I'll take customer ID. Comma, I'll take also country so that we'll know if it is displaying the Germany country. And then from customers. Okay. My question is, how many customers are from Germany? Only Germany I want. Group by Germany. Yeah. How can you group with values? You can group only with columns. Select count of customer ID, country from customers. I'll type group by. Okay. Group by, and you're grouping by country. Now for this, it is going to give me output, but it is going to give me all the customers. I mean, all the country. I just want Germany. I just want only the Germany country details. So what should I edit here? Where should I add it? Group by country, and then where? Country equal to Germany. Let me see. Country equal to Germany. Run SQL, it is showing me error. Which means you can't add it here. So where you have to add before group by. So before group by country equal to Germany, group by country. Yes, it's showing you only Germany details. Okay. Why I am doing this in class is because you have assignment based on SQL queries only today. So you will be writing queries. Okay. And before I continue, let me share the attendance sheet. People online. Day 3 attendance. People online, fill in your attendance sheet. Okay. And then next topic is with joins. Okay. Joins is again another interesting topic in SQL. Okay. Now, when do you go for joins? You go for joins when you wanted to take data from multiple tables, not just from one table. If you want to take data from multiple tables, then you have to go with joins. So now in this case, we'll open customer table. So in customer table, we have many columns, customer ID, name, contact name, and all that. Okay, look at this table columns carefully. This is the table column here. Then I'll go to orders table. Okay, in orders table, look at the columns. So which two columns are similar here? Customer ID. Yes, customer ID is present in orders table and customer ID is present in customers table as well. Yes, so now if you wanted to take data from two different tables, you have to find out which column is getting linked first. Which column is similar in both the tables. Now, from customer table, we have the customer details, and in orders table, you have all the orders of what customers has made. And in order detail, do we have products? Okay, take orders. Now, if you wanted to display, first query what we are displaying is customer name, city, order ID, and order date. Okay. So from customer table, I want the customer name and the city. And from orders table, I want the order ID and the order date. So basically, we are trying to find out what orders did the customer place and on which dates. All right. So now the data is from two tables, right? In this case, you have to use this concept called joins. In joins, you have many types of join. You have inner join, outer join, left join, right join. And in all that, you have another one join called self join. That is kind of easy. So I'll tell you what self join is, how to use that. Okay. Now, what details do we need to display first? We need to display the customer name. We need to display his city. We need to display his order ID and we need to display his order data. What is the date? Okay, order date. These are the columns which we want to display from tables, customers, and orders. From tables, customers, and orders. Okay. Now, how are these two tables linked? These two tables are linked with customer ID column, right? So I'll type there customer ID equal to customer ID. Does this give you any sense? No, doesn't give you any sense, right? So to clarify that, what we'll do for both these tables, let's give an alias name. Alias name for customer table, I just give C, and for orders, I just give O. It is just a temporary name that you assign for this particular query alone. It will not affect your table and all. Okay. Now, customer name and city belongs to which table? Customers table, right? So I'll add C in front. So C dot customer name and C dot city. These two belongs to order table. So I'll put O dot order ID, O dot order date. And this customer ID left side belongs to customer table and this belongs to order table. Now, does this give sense? Yes. So now, based on these two, if from customer table, the customer ID and order tables, customer ID matches, you give me the data of customer name, city, order ID and order date. This is what we are asking. So when I run SQL, see here, it is giving me the customer name, city, what order ID they have placed and on which date they are placed. Okay, so from two tables, if you wanted to take data, first you have to find out the common column and then you have to give alias names so that it makes your task easy and then you have to write query accordingly. Okay, now here is another question. Now you are going to answer for three tables, okay? Customer table, orders and shippers. So now we have this person called 7C's imports, okay? You have to find out what order this 7C's imports has made along with the date and you should also find out the shipper which is assigned for him. Shipper which is assigned for this particular person. So which means you have the customer data in customer table and what order he have placed, you have it in orders table and then the shipper details will be in the shippers table. You have three tables linked here. Now let's find out the common columns first. Now in customer table, look at all the columns. Customer ID, name, contact name, address, city, postal code, and country. Let's go to orders table. In orders table, we have order ID, customer ID, employee ID, order date, and shipper ID. Let's go to supplier table. No, it is in order details. Huh? Okay, which are linked? In supplier table, we have supplier ID. Okay, we have supplier ID, supplier name, contact name, address, city, and postal code. In orders table also we have shipper ID only, not supplier ID. Shipper ID, order ID, okay. In order details we have order ID, product ID. Okay, in products we have supplier ID. And in suppliers we have supplier ID, okay. Just see the query so that I'll know. Customer ID and shipper ID, okay. Where is shipper ID in this? Okay, we have shippers table. Okay, you have to see in shipper table, and in order table you have shipper ID. Okay. In customer table, we have customer ID, which is getting linked with customer ID in orders table. And then orders table, we have shipper ID, which is getting linked with shipper's ID in shipper table. Okay. Now the link is in customer table and in order table, the common field is customer ID. In orders table and shippers table, the common field is shipper ID. Now the details which you want will be from customer table, you will need the customer name. From order table, you will need the order ID and order date. And in shipper table, you will need the shipper name. Okay. So from these three tables, and then you have to check whether these columns are matching. Okay. Customer tables customer ID should match the order tables customer ID, and order tables shipper ID should match the shipper tables shipper ID. And then we have one condition. We don't want all the customer details. We want customer details only of 7C's import, right? So we are giving a condition C dot customer name should be 7C's import. Okay, we'll try printing this so that we'll know whether it is giving output. Run SQL, yes. So for 7C's import, he has placed these orders on these dates, and the shippers which has been assigned to him are these shippers. Okay, the first task that you should know is you should know what tables are linked, and then what is the common field between these tables. So we are linking something like this. We have customer table, we have order table, and we have shipper table. Customer table and order table is linked with the help of customer ID, and order table and shipper table is linked with the help of shipper ID. So by default, all these three tables are linked. This is the concept. Okay. Then now, okay, we'll find out for this. Find what products Ernst Handel has ordered, including the order date and quantity of each product ordered. How much quantity has he ordered for each product? Okay. So in this case, Ernst Handel detail is in customer table. And then what he has ordered, the order date is in the order table. And then the product quantity is in the product table. So three tables are linked. All right. So customer table and order table has common field called customer ID. Order table and product table has this common field called order ID. Okay. Now I've given you the clue. Tell me the query for this. Okay. C dot, you need the customer name. Okay. And then O dot, you need the order ID and the order date. Okay. And you need the product details also, right? So P dot, product name. In product table, what all do we have? We have the quantity. We have the unit. So you need the product name and the unit. Okay. So you will display all this from customer, order, and products. And how are you going to link it? Where C dot customer ID should be equal to O dot customer ID. Okay. And then O dot order ID should be equal to O dot, sorry, P dot order ID, and we need the detail only of this person. So C dot customer name equal to Ernst handle. So the query which you said is this. This is what you said now, right? Now we'll just copy, paste it here, and run SQL. Yes. So it is showing us only the Ernst handle details, what product he purchased, what is the quantity, what is the order date, and the order ID. Yes. So this is with joins. Now, based on what we have seen in SQL for today, you have to use the same editor, SQL editor. Okay. So in this, I have customers, categories, and products, 3 tables: customers, and then categories, and then products. Based on these 3 tables, I have some questions here. What you have to do is you have to find the queries. You have to write the queries and find the answers. In Google form, we'll be you will be asked to type the answers. In answers place, don't type the answer, type the query. I need your SQL query and not the answer. Okay. So this will be your to-do assignment for today. For customer table, you have 6 questions, categories 4, and then product you have 5 questions. Based on what we've seen today. Okay. And then yesterday, using R, we saw something called data visualization, right? And a similar topic that we can do that in Python as well. So in Python, I will tell you for data analysis and data visualization, what options we have. In that first, data analysis. In data analysis, okay, so far we have seen data cleaning process. Data collection, okay, you will collect data from all the mediums, and then data cleaning is where you use pandas to clean the data. Yes. And the third step is data analysis. Data analysis is where you're going to find the patterns in the data after cleaning. After cleaning, you'll find the pattern, so that using that pattern, you can use the algorithms to predict the values, right? So for that, what we'll do is first we'll use some basic statistical functions. So statistical functions here means those mean, median, mode values. So how do you calculate mean, median, mode? Pandas have default functions for that. So we'll go to PyCharm, and in PyCharm, I'll paste this. So we have this data.csv file. Okay. So in data.csv file, I wanted to find the mean value for the math column, median value for the science column, and mode value for the English column, right? So I have to first read the CSV file and I have to store it in a data frame, and then I have to use df of column name, and then I can use the mean function, median function, and the mode function. When I run SQL, it is going to show the mean, median, mode value for each columns. This is general. Now here we are calculating, but what is that another function which will show you all the default values? In pandas, you have another default function, no, which will show you all the values. Describe. There is this function called describe. In R, summary. Very good. In R, you have the summary function. Okay. Now coming back to visualization. So in visualization, you have something called matplotlib, the package. All right. For matplotlib, you have to go to packages first and search for matplotlib in the packages section and install that library first. You won't have that by default. Okay. Matplotlib, you'll search it, you'll install it. And then once you install it, in matplotlib, you can plot line plots. You can plot scatter plot, you can plot bar plot, you can plot histograms, you have pie charts and all that. Okay. So first I'll show you line plot. So for that, you have to first import the library. Anga edha solnuma last la pesite irkeenga. Import, you have to import this library, and then what are these two? In Python, what are these two? It has square brackets. So what is that? Lists. Yes, we have 2 lists here. And then you have to use the plot function. So plot function is the function which will help you to plot. And then if you want to give a name to your plot, you can use title. And for x-axis, x label, you can give x-axis value, y label, you can give y-axis value. And then only if you use the show function, it's going to give you the output. It will show you the output. So I'll just paste it here and we'll run this. So when I run in Python, it is going to open a small dialog box where it will show the plotting. See here? This is a simple line plot. This is the x-axis, this is the y-axis, and it is this side x-axis is starting from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and y-axis it's from 2 to 10. Okay, a simple plot. Why I'm showing you all this now? Because tomorrow we are going to start with the algorithm part, with the machine learning part. So in machine learning, you're going to use algorithms, and the output you're going to display in plots in C. So for that, you should have a basic understanding of how to plot. Okay, that is why I'm showing you this again in Python. Now, for scatter plot, again, we have two lists, and instead of plot, you can use something called scatter. So how does a scatter plot look like? I'll copy, I'll paste it here, and I'll save, and I'll then run it. For scatter, it is going to show this marker. Here in this code, I've given O, right? So it is showing me this marker and the color in blue. So for 1 and 2, this is the one. For 2 and 3, this is the plotter. For 3 and 5, this is 3 and 5. For 4 and 7, this is 4 and 7. And for 5 and 11, here is the plot. Plotting is easy. It will also give you the output. But you should know how you get this output. What this output is depicting. Okay. Now, how you got all these dots based on these values only here. Right? You have 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 5, 4, 7, 5, 11 for which you have a simple plot. Now, these are small values, so it is easy to identify. Then when you give large set of values, then it's going to show you many dots. So you should know how it appears. And then you have bar plots. For that, you have to use this function called bar function. So we'll import. And here I have two lists. One is category and another one is value. And inside this bar function, I am passing both the list category and value, and I'm giving a color called green. And we are setting the heading and x-axis, y-axis values. So when I run, this is a simple bar plot. So in x-axis, we have the categories. In y-axis, we have the values. And based on the value given, you have the bar plot. So first value is 3. So this is up to 3. Second value is 7. So this is up to 7. Third value is up to 5. And fourth value is up to 9. This, you are giving data inside the program itself through data structures, right? There is another way you can use your CSV files as well. So I'll show you one histogram with the CSV file which you already have, data.csv. So we have a file called data.csv. We have math, science, and English marks inside. So I'll just take math and I'll try to print it. I'll just see how my math mark can display in histogram. So when I run, see the mathematical marks. The mathematical marks 72, 75 to 80, 85 to 87 who has scored, 87 to 90 who has scored. It is showing a histogram of what it is. But mostly you won't use histograms. You use other line plots and all that. But I just wanted to show you how histogram looks like. And we'll also see how box plot looks like. Here we are taking the science subject. For science subject, box plot will run. Okay, I have to close this. Then run. So based on our data.csv file, this is the box plot. So the science marks gets, marked here, like science, the average marks and all that. Okay, this is with box plot where you can use the CSV file and then you can display the output. All right, this is data visualization in Python. Same thing, similar thing we saw yesterday with R. All right, so we've, as of till now, we have seen the data collection process where all you can collect data. And then we've seen the data cleaning process, how you can clean data. The same data cleaning process, okay. I gave you a assignment with R, right? For data cleaning using empty cars. No? What was the empty cast assignment which I gave? Oh, that's just for visualization. Okay. Right, right. So for Python, you have practiced data cleaning. For R, you have practiced data visualization. Yes, and again in Python, you have data visualization topic. And tomorrow we'll start with data modeling. So data modeling is where you will bring in all the algorithms, existing machine learning algorithms, and we'll try to apply. So we'll learn it with simple examples, case studies, and I'll try to make it as simple as, in the Python code itself. So we'll try to write Python codes for algorithms, and we'll try to find the predicted values and all that. Okay. Thank you guys. We'll see you again tomorrow.